Hi, Shirley. I think we are live. Hopefully sound and everything is working. It's just us. Hi, Jamie. Thank you for the sound check. Appreciate it. Hi, Patty. Okay, got a little bit of lag going on from my screen changes, but that's okay. Hi, Pat. And we are streaming on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, so I can see your chat if you're on YouTube, and I can see your chat if you're on Facebook. However, on Facebook, it does not give me your name. It just says viewer. So if you are chatting from Facebook, please put your name in there and then your questions. Hi, Tina. All right, guys, we're going to play the intro and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Yes, that is awesome, Tina. And here is our June calendar, and I'm just going to give a shout out, a heavenly birthday to my brother. He would have been 47 today. And I just wanted to say how much I miss him. Okay, and this is the June calendar. Now on Wednesday I sent you guys a supporter file. It was a card and you got the patterned paper and everything with that. It is on the annual supporters tab on craftingwithapril.co. Oh yay, thanks Tina. And then on Friday, I did a little treat for all the supporters that went out for you guys. And then I think it was Sunday because I got delayed. I had to do some reworking. I sent the Eagle Wreath file out to everybody. It was free for all. It's in the Cricut community for anybody that wanted that. And then tonight we're going to be doing the shirt box. For Father's Day. It is a supporters file. It will be on it is on the 2021 supporters tab for all of you guys. And we will be going live on Friday, guys, the 11th. But we are not going to assemble a project. What we are going to do is we are going to go in Design Space. I found a card that I liked on Pinterest. And we're going to go in and we're going to design that together. And then I'm going to let you guys cut it. I'm going to throw you some ideas out there that you can do with that card. And I want you guys to make it and post up some pictures. And then I'll make mine. So we are going to design it together on Friday. Okay? And again, if anybody has any requests for a file or something that you need a file for, don't forget to send that to me. If you are a supporter, you get moved to the front of the line for any kind of projects that we have upcoming. So leaving that there, and if you're not a supporter, please click down on the link below. And that's another thing that I wanted to show you guys down in the description. I don't have it pulled up here, but maybe I can bring it up really quick. Let me get a new window. I have a lot of people are always asking me if I have a link for something. Now, I do have more links than this, but these are the main links, and I wanted to share those with you. I don't want that. Thank you. I just want, there we go. I'm going to bring this page up. It's called Linktree. Okay. Did it transition over? I think it did. Maybe it's just running a little bit behind. I'm going to give that a second to come up, and then I'm going to give you guys the link while we're waiting on that. If you come over to this link, maybe if I can pull it up here. Let's try. Maybe it's up now. There it goes. If you don't see it, you should see it here in just a second. It looks like there's about a 10-second delay. Not sure why, but there is. Let me get back to my other window so I can post this for you. Here is the link to get to this, if it's going to let me post it. There we go. That is Linktree. So you guys can pull that up. And once you've pulled that up, you can come in here and you can go to Patreon from it. You can go to Ko-fi from it. You can go to the Crafting with April website from here. You can go back to the Cricut Maker Projects group here if you need the cheat sheets. All in one place. Everything is right there. Even YouTube. So I have your Learn Design Space video playlist right there, the Giant Flowers playlist, or the Flowers playlist, and just a spot, the Spiral Betty. Everybody seems to like that one. So that's all there. And then right below that, you have all of your shopping links. You have the USA, you have your Canada, you have your mystery box searches. So when those pop up, you can find those. Amazon, Brilliant Vinyl, all the main ones that everybody likes to use. They are all there, right there, all the way down the line. And then if you want to subscribe to a mailing list, I'm not doing emails right now, so you won't get emailed unless you're on Patreon when I send out a message on Patreon. But if you want to subscribe, so when I start that back up, you'll be on there. So you can do that as well from there. So all of those links, if you want to click on that link or ask for the Linktree link, we can give that to you, and you can go and you can get everything that we do is all right there compiled in one spot for you guys. Super easy, super fun. So if I wanted to go to the Cricut Maker Projects group, we could click on it and it will take us right over. Super easy, super simple. Okay? How cool is that? I've tried to make it as easy for you guys as possible so you can get to everything that you need to get to. I am going to add a Design Space link for you too if I can get it to work. So that way you will have everything in one spot. You can go and open your Design Space, all of it. Okay? I'm just seeing viewer, what is on YouTube? We have a YouTube. The YouTube link is right here. If you need, we're streaming on Facebook and we're streaming on Facebook and we're streaming on YouTube at the same time. If you're on Facebook and you're chatting, I can't see your name. It just says viewer. So I'm not ignoring you, I promise. But if somebody can get the live link and post that for her, I can't get that right now. So let's go over to Design Space. A new update came out today. So the latest desktop version is 6.10.107. If you are on mobile, you need to check for an update as well, especially for if you have a Joy app. If you have the Joy machine, they came out with the foiling tool for that machine, so you need to make sure that all of your apps are up to date. Your mobile Design Space, your desktop Design Space, and your Joy app. Make sure everything is updated, guys. Oh, there you are, Judy. Okay, I wasn't sure who it was. So everything, got all of that. They fixed some things, and now you should be showing, if you get the latest, you should show the Explore 3 and the Cricut Maker 3 in there. I did get my machine earlier this week, guys, as I'm an insider on that one, and I will be doing my premiere video tonight. I will be shooting it. I am not sure if I'm going to have it ready for Tuesday or Wednesday release. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you want to be alerted, make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. So it will be coming. Yay, new subscriber. Welcome, welcome. So that's all done. It's not notifying you, Paula. Turn it off and turn it back on. Sometimes that will work. If it doesn't notify you, sometimes turning it off and then turning it back on will trigger it. So there, your Joy app is working fine. The D's for the Joy on the iPad is not so great. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Shirley. If somebody can figure that out for Shirley and help her out with that, I would appreciate it. Now, there is something that I noticed from 6.915, whatever version that was. I want to say it was 153, but I may be wrong. Then we got version 6.9.163. And in 163, we had something happen. They had it fixed. It was doing it, and then they had it fixed. And that was with our score lines. And you see I can insert that, and I can move it around. And I can rotate it 90 degrees. And I can move it around. I can rotate it 180 or 270. And I can move it around. Okay? However, if I want to rotate it 23 degrees, I can no longer move it. It's stuck. It's right where it's at, and it's stuck. Unless I want to use my arrow keys, I can use my arrow keys and move it, but sometimes that moves it too much or not enough. And Marianne discovered that if we duplicate it and we align and center those, and group them or attach them, whatever you want to do. I would just group them because you don't need it to score twice unless you just want yours to score twice. Then you can select it and you can move it around and rotate it and move it around and get it where you want on your design. Then you can ungroup it, and then you can just delete one, and then you can attach. And that's the best workaround we have right now. Hopefully they will fix it. But this happened for me, that's when I noticed it. It was working fine in the 6.9.153, and then it went sour in 6.9163. It might have been 159. I don't remember what the 1.5 version was, but the latest is 6.10.107, and it is still broken in that one. When you choose the Joy on your iPad in Design Space, it gives you trouble. And Shirley, that's because it is optimized to work on the Joy app for mobile. Your Joy is optimized to work on the mobile app. Can you work in Design Space mobile with your Joy? Yes, but it is optimized for that Joy app. You're better off, if you're not going to use mobile, to use your desktop for your Joy. Okay? They did a whole separate app to optimize that for you guys. Does anybody have any other Design Space questions? I know some of you may not have the newest one yet. Anything that you need? I know they fixed the flashing button or something. Somebody said, I believe it was Paula, said the flashing button got fixed. I had the page up with the release notes. I did post it in announcements in the group so you can read and see what all was fixed. Yeah, switch to your desktop. If you're going to be designing for your Joy, that's probably going to be your best bet, Shirley. Okay, guys, so let's pop over to the overhead. And as always, if you have questions, please put them in caps and ask them, and so that we can see them. One of the girls will answer, I will answer. And I just want to say thank you to our moderators. You guys are awesome, doing a fantastic job in the groups and everything, and on the chats. You guys rock. Okay, Jamie says there's also a few major issues if you have a project on the computer and then you open it on mobile, where words and images get weird and choppy angles. Okay, thank you for that information, Jamie. I generally just use desktop. A lot of you guys know that. I will open it up on my iPad or my iPhone when you guys are having a problem and try to replicate it. But other than that, I don't design on it because I can't see it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so covered all of that, and let's go overhead. If I can get it to change. There we go. Yay! All right, and here are a couple of the, well, I said, there we go. Here's the Father's Day file that I sent, and I haven't stamped anything on mine or had I didn't have my Cricut write it because I'm going to stamp mine. But I know somebody made this. I believe it was Paula made this, and she stamped for her first time the other day. So lots of things you can do with this, guys. You can make it like I made it, make it your own, tons of things. But you did get the paper file in that as well. And then the little treat for How Does Your Garden Grow, we did that, and I put a Charms in mine, but you can do a Tootsie Pop. I think Tootsie Pops are better because you don't have this paper on the bottom of it like a Blow Pop does. It's wrapped all down on the stem, so it sits in there better. So just a little word. You can put a sticky dot in there to hold it so it won't twist on you. That paper kind of wants to jump out there, but you can use a sticky note or a sticky dot, glue dot, and hold it in place. Super cute, super fun, and you can do any kind of colors of flowers on that. It will be super cute. Yes, this card can be Father's Day, birthday, just a thank you. It could be a simple thank you card. You can do so much with this, but it has that manly appearance. I know that a lot of us, including myself, struggle with doing men's cards. Women's easy. You can use butterflies and flowers and swirls and all the pretties and all that kind of stuff, and they love them. But sometimes it gets difficult for our men. So this is a good color combination when you can use the blues and browns and cream colors. Those tend to make really, really, really nice men's cards. Okay? And then I can't get this whole thing in the view, guys, but here is the eagle wreath that I did. This is free in the Cricut community for you guys. Now, it is an access image that I used to make it, but if you do flowers, you probably already have it. You probably already own it. So that went out as well. And then tonight we're going to be making this shirt box. And you can squeeze this down, guys. You can just align everything, center, and then shrink it down to whatever size you want. This one is set at a finished size. And I'm not counting the sleeves that stick out on this, guys. I'm just counting the base. is right about 4.75 by 2 5/8. I'm going to call it 2 5/8. So, nice, cute little box. You can put some treats in there. You could roll up a tank top or something that you put in there, a t-shirt. It should fit. You should be able to get it fit if you roll it. What I call navy rolling. Thanks, Louise. Louise is sending me a more realistic eyeball. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail so I can swap it out on mine. I want to see somebody do that eagle wreath in pink. I want to see somebody make a flamingo or a white owl. Tons of things you can do with those. Lots of fun. Okay, so to do this card, you're just going to need a couple of things. Whatever embellishments, guys, you can swap out whatever you want on that. I put some buttons and a little pocket. And I don't know if it's going to focus in on that. I had it write Dad on the pocket, even though I was using a pattern paper. I just wanted it to be subtle. And then I had a line drawn around for like the stitching, just to make it a little bit of interest. But you can do it for whatever you want. How many sheets of paper for the wreath? It was a total of 20 sheets, Shirley, and then like a 3 by 12 scrap of white, and then like a 1-inch scrap of black, and a 2-inch scrap of brown, and a 3-inch scrap of yellow. That's all I used on it. And all of in the Cricut community, in the description of that wreath, are all the supplies and the amount of paper that I used for each color. So it's all listed for you. And if you're going to do like a flamingo and use all pinks, I mean, I would probably use 2 or 3 shades of pink, and you can just split it up. Hi, Dolores. But I'm going to scoop this out of my way. It has all my tiny pieces on it. Now, I cut my first one. I cut with my pretty side up, and not thinking, I left myself a seam here. Okay. So I'm going to try to do this one. I cut it with my pretty side down. I'm using some old football paper that I had. I don't know if you can still find it, guys. I got this at Tuesday Morning a while back. But it's called Football All-Star Collection from Authentique Paper. So you might be able to find it. You might not. You can probably find a print and cut that you like. Print your paper before you cut it, so you don't have to worry about size options. Just print your 12 by 12 sheet, and then flip it over and feed it through and print the back, and then you'll have double-sided. Okay? So we're just going to fold on all the score lines. Now, when you take it off the mat, be very careful, because this top one where it's scored also has 2 cut lines, okay? And it will rip, because, don't ask me how I know. Just trust me. It will rip if you take it off of your mat too quickly. So, I'm just going to fold over on that score where those slits are at. And then I'm going to open that back up. And then you're going to fold in and fold in right here. All right. And this is where you want to come in and you want to glue just this tab on both sides. We're going to fold them in and glue them down. How easy was that? And so it should look like that. So now your cuts look just like that. Okay? You were laughing, Shirley. And somebody asked about 24-inch paper the other day. Guys, don't beat yourself up. 24-inch paper from Cricut. I know it's hard to get. Sometimes it's not in stock. but you're going to pay for shipping, and it's going to not cheap if you buy it anywhere other than Cricut. So sometimes I just wait on mine to come in stock, and then when it goes on sale, stock up. So on the center tab, I just folded those two little tabs in, and then I brought that fold up and repeated it on the other side. Okay? And if you're using a thin paper, be careful because, you know, if you fold it too hard, it will crack. And then you have a score line right here. I'm just going to fold that up. That's our one that we glued. So you've got that flap there. And then we're going to flip it over to the other side. These are so quick and so simple, guys. Super easy. Now there is a score that's like a Y on this. You don't have to fold that. It's just to help it in the next step when we put it together, when we push it in, to help it bend a little bit. But you don't need to fold those scores. If you want to, you can, but you don't need to. Okay? And then we're going to fold this tab in and this tab in. I think I missed my score on that one. Straighten it up a little bit. Okay, and now you have a score on this one right here, and you do need to fold that one. And what we're going to do is just kind of fold that back, just like so. All right, give that a nice little fold. This is the one that gave me a fit. You guys may want to readjust that score line because I couldn't get it to twist in Design Space, and I fought it for a couple hours. So then the front is going to look like this, and that's what's giving you your sleeves, okay? And you can draw a line or whatever if you want to, just so you don't go past it with glue on your pencil. With a pencil, just take and draw just a little bitty light line. Nobody's going to see it, and you can erase it later. But that's just going to tell you where not to put any glue on this piece right here. You just want to stay on above your score there, and you're just going to fold it over, because we don't want to glue our sleeve down to the front. Okay? Same thing over here. And we're just going to put glue inside that score up to the little pencil line that we drew. And we're going to fold that over. Okay. And then you can come in here past that on this side of it, and you're going to glue that to the inside. On both sides. So now it should look just like this. Is everybody with me? Paula, with some of the boxes that I've made, even though you can only go 12 inches wide, I made a quilt box. If you go in my playlist, you'll see a quilt box. And trust me, you can get a small quilt in that. I put a jacket in it once. I put a full set of towels and still had room in it once. But I think I did that one on a 12 by 12 mat. But if you've got 12 by 24 paper, instead of having all those cuts, you can do longer cuts and then make it taller as well. That way you can get, if like you want a deep box, you can get it up to 11.5 inches deep and still use that 24-inch length. So there are times when 12 by 24 paper is needed. And also like the chipboard boxes and things like that where you have to do hinges or and things like that. Sometimes you need a bigger than a 11.5-inch sheet to cover, say, a panel that's 11 inches so that you can connect it together with other pieces. If you've got an 11-inch bottom and then you've got two 4-inch sides, that's going to be a total of 19 inches. So you need that 24-inch paper to cut it so that you can hinge all that stuff together. So there are times when you're doing paper products that will come in. And we're just going to glue those tabs, and we're just going to bring those up and keep it flush. And just glue. I'm going to fold that back so you guys can see. Just going to glue that down. And the same on this side. Give it some time to grab and then line it up. There we go. Let's get it in there. So just keep your corners nice and flush, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to do this side. I probably should have done my collar first before I did this, but that's okay. We can still work around it. It's not that difficult. I love this football paper. So cute. All right, and to make the collar, all you're going to do is where that, right where your cut line ends, you're just going to bring that down and put a fold in it, okay? And you're going to do the same thing over on this side. Okay, you're just going to bring it in and fold it at the diagonal. And then I'm just going to fold it back, okay? And it doesn't matter which way you do it. You're still going to have that, you're still going to have that where it meets right there. I don't know any other way to do it. I guess if we flipped it around, if I folded it the other way, but then I would have the other color on the outside. Oh well. Now I'm just going to put some glue right here. You could put a to and from tag on there to make it look like the shirt's tag. And make sure that you're only getting glue. You don't want to glue this part down. You want that to hang freely, okay? So we're just putting a little dab of glue right there inside that collar. I'm going to hold it for a second to dry. All right, and then that's where you're going to push in your sides, and the score lines are there, guys, and just kind of pinch it in. Okay. And again, if you wanted to fold those prior, you can, but you can see that it folded in just nicely all on its own. You don't need a whole lot of force or pressure. Make sure your sides are dry before you do that. Mine are still wet. Give it time to dry. Give it a little pinch. And then you're just going to tuck the front right up under the collar there, okay? And that's what's going to hold it closed. Super, super easy. Super easy. And then I'm just going to, I cut a brown back for my buttons just so it would have some dimensional look to it. Once they dry, you're going to see the glue until it dries. So I'm going to glue all of my little buttons together. And I am using some foam dots. These are the thin foam dots. And if you can't find these, Judy Barons LaRue, and our moderator, is close to my heart consultant. She has those. And Susan Johnson Betts, if she's here, she also is a close to my heart consultant. And then I've got my little dad pocket here, and I did a yellow handkerchief for a penalty flag since I did a football type. And I just put a little bit of glue on the back of the pocket. And then just line that up however you want it. Yes, you could use real buttons as well, Shirley. I've done that. I would suggest using glue dots for those so that they hold well. And then I am going to place 2 or 3 down the center. I keep knocking them off my sheet. There we go. On that. Super easy. So we're going to start with the bottom button. And I'm just going to place it just a little bit above the base. I'm not pressing it to stick it hard yet. That way if I need to move it, I can. And then I'm going to do the top button. Oops, I dropped it. I knew I would. I do it this way, guys, because that way it's easier to make sure that you get everything lined up. And also it's easier to place that third one right in the center of the other 2 than it is to try to guess and put it down second and then do the last one. So if you do the top, the bottom, and then the center, it makes it easier on you. And then we're just going to open it up and press them down. Super easy. And then I'm going to peel these. And we're going to stick our pocket. All right. There. And I'm just pressing down from inside the box. So we have a little bit of dimension on there. How stinking cute is that? Super easy. Done. Oh, thanks, Sue. Yeah, I mean, since I went with the football theme, I thought, why not do a yellow handkerchief for a penalty flag in there? Since we have the plays print on there. But again, if you have a little seam showing like I do on this one, because I missed my fold, cut yourself a little tag that says to or from. See, on this one it overlapped enough that I didn't, it's not noticeable. But this one I had a little bit of a gap. Or just cut another little piece of scrap paper and stick right over it. Nobody will ever know. And then you can fill it with your little goodies. Do his favorite candies. Super easy, super cute. But I know you guys have trouble sometimes with the guys stuff. Yay, we have a new subscriber. Welcome, welcome. So if you guys have any problem, just remember when you buy paper packs or if you're buying digital paper from Design Bundles or Creative Fabrica, those places, usually everything that's in that pack, you can't go wrong. Pick 2 or 3 papers that you're happy with and they're going to go together, okay? Because I even second guessed myself. I know some of you guys do. I was like, well, if I put that football pattern on there, it's not going to look good. And then after I did it, and I'm like, you know, that's really super cute. So don't be afraid to try something different and put some of those things in there. And I did want to mention, you can see the difference in the tags. This one I used my heavier marker on, and this one I used my extra fine, and it doesn't show up as much. So whatever look that you're wanting to go for, this one shows a little bit better. So I used my marker on this one, and I used my extra fine on this one. I think the .03, it was the small one, the fine tip is what I used. But I used black, I didn't use moccasin. Hi, Kathy. All right, does anybody have any design space questions? Go out there and start making this month's projects, guys. There's going to be something for everybody. Yeah, you could do a bow tie on here up at the top if you want to, Dolores. Do a bow tie, or skip that. Skip the buttons altogether and put a tie on there. Maybe you want to do some stripes and make it a little bit dressier or something. But guys, there's just no limit to these. Yes, and you could do a shadow layer. Guys, there's just, I mean, tons of stuff to do with this. Yes, if you do a floral, you could do something like this with a floral pattern for women. Or you could do Hawaiian shirts. That would be cute too. So you're not limited on this. I even thought about cutting it out of a solid color and then putting 2 little stripes, white pieces of scrap on the sleeves, and then do like a jersey number with the varsity font for a football jersey or a baseball jersey. Guys, no limit. No limit to what you can do with these. What does a shadow layer do? Yes, you could do a polo shirt look. You could do like a little emblem on there, have it drawn on. Do a solid color, Shirley, and have it draw your little horsey on there, your polo horsey. Bowling team shirts. Good idea, Louise. Good idea. You guys have more ideas. That's awesome. Yes, you could put some lace on the sleeves too. That would be cute. Use some Nuvo drops to create your lace down the front. That would be cute too. Do like a little V, cut a little triangle for a V-neck. Make it look lacy at the top. You guys are on it. Okay, does anybody have any design space questions? Anything that we haven't covered? We can show you offset real quick. I know people are still having a little bit of offset issues, but it's pretty much working the kinks out so far. When you do an offset, what she's talking about, I actually did an inset for the pocket. But you can go in and you can do, what was your offset for? What were we talking on offset there? I'm scrolling back to see. But anyway, when you're trying to do an offset, I'm going to get some text here too, maybe. Well, that's weird. My text is now in gray. It used to be black. That must be new in 6.10. Or did I hit it and change it? I don't know. Somebody had a couple of issues. Now we got kerned fonts. Everybody knows that we got kerned fonts. So if you're not looking for if you're looking for something that may not be kerned or you're not showing up, you'll need to uncheck that because it comes checked by default. I'm just going to grab that. There we go. And you can see that it brought all that together. And I'm just going to weld it to see if anything fills in. Nothing filled in, so I'm happy with that. Well, no, I'm not. It didn't touch there. Let me undo it. I'm just going to leave it that way and see if I can replicate the offset issue that they were having. When you do an offset, let's say that you wanted this to be in white, but it was going on a white card. This offset is going to allow it to pop out, where it's not going to pop very much here. When you go and you get that offset and you set it, and I'm just going to do a small one here. And mine didn't do that. Sometimes when a letter doesn't connect, your offset won't give it. I'm going to type mine in. It's just easier. It won't close it in because it thinks it's an open path, just like I've got that little one there. I can't replicate their issue, so maybe they can figure it out. But you can see now how I have this piece. So if I cut two of them, I can layer them up, Dolores, and that's going to cause that happy to pop out against that light surface. So if you're putting something white on a white surface or a light surface, it doesn't give it a whole lot of pop. You can do this. And just like I did with my pocket on my shirt. Oh, it didn't transition. There it goes. Sorry, guys. So I have my happy. Let me just go in and do it again really quick, since that didn't. When you're on a white surface like this, just going to type happy. I had Magnolia Sky is what I picked. And if you look at your fonts, kerning is something new, so you can take it off and you can see that we have more than one Magnolia font. One is kerned, one is not. But my Magnolia Sky is an upload. So I have the word happy here. And our text is now coming in as the same default gray instead of black. But that's okay. But if I have this and it's white, you can see that it really doesn't pop against this white background. So if I do that offset and create it, and I've got mine at 0.05 and rounded, and I apply it, now it's going to pop up off of that light surface. Okay? It's going to pop up. It's got a little bit of lag, guys. Give it just a second. It will change. I don't know why YouTube has some lag, but it does. Let me see if I can get it to catch up. Maybe it's stuck because I'm showing that it's showing. Maybe, who's on Facebook? Can you see design? There it goes. There it goes. Maybe it's just lagging. But you can see here that happy, it gives it that pop so that it pops up. Like on the pocket that I did on this, I could have done a shadow layer on the pocket maybe in black and had that pop it up just a little bit more. I kind of liked it subtle on my box, so I didn't do that, but you can. Yeah, it was showing that it transitioned here, but it was not showing. I think there's just some lag because the time jumped from like 48 minutes to 49 and a half. So it looks like the lag got a little bit worse. You're on both and the YouTube is lagging. Okay, Thank you. I thought it was because the time keeps jumping on it. But it's showing me it has an excellent connection. So, I mean, it's kind of weird. So, but that's what your shadow layers will do, guys. You can go in there and do it on objects. And if you want, like I did an inset for the pocket, and you can do that inset. Oops, I forgot to apply. Let's do an inset really quick on there. You can do that inset and apply it, and then you can go in and you can change that line type to a pen, and now you have your outline. And then you're just going to attach it. Okay? So that's how I did the pocket. Oh, is that what it is, Shirley? It may be. They may be. YouTube does some strange things sometimes. All right. So there's a way that you can use offset and a way that you can use inset. So you can work it both ways. Just like this font, if I just want to beef up my font just a little bit because my lines are just too thin sometimes here, you can also do that, guys. You can go in and do your offset, but you'll want to check the weld offsets. You'll want to uncheck that. And then I'm just going to change that to a 0.01, maybe a 3. There we go. And then I'm going to apply it. And now I can come in here and I've got my letters are just a little bit more beefed up. And these tails are not so thin, and you can see the difference there. So you can use that to help beef up some of your thin fonts as well. Did that help out, Dolores? Okay, guys. On Friday, let me see if I can find it. There's a really, I think this is it. Yes. I saw this on Pinterest, and I still can't. It's Lynn Mercuria, I think. Mercurala. I cannot read her name on there. But I saw this, and it gave me an idea of teaching you guys how to take something like this and let's recreate that look, maybe in Design Space. So this is what we're going to do Friday. We're going to bring this card up and we are going to recreate it together, and then that way everybody will have the weekend and they can cut their card, and we will make a post in the group, and we will add everybody's card, everybody that did one, we will add their photos in on that post so everybody can see what we started with and all of the different takes that everybody had on it. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing on Friday. Can I explain how to do print and cut? It wouldn't allow you to use it on blue paper, only white. Is that correct? Yes and no, Cindy. I can show you. When you're going to do a print and cut, you can do it. I mean, I'm just going to send this over. Let me just flatten Happy here. Let me change the color first to black. All right. And let me change this to red. And let's align these. Center. And I'm going to flatten them together. Okay. Now that is going to allow me to cut the word happy after it prints. It's going to print it black on top of this red and whatever paper that you're doing it on. If you're doing blue, yeah, if you're, well, that's true and untrue, Jamie, because I have every Explore Air 2 I had, I could print on transparency, I could print on light colors, even craft card stock, and it would read it. A lot of people said that you had to have white, and mine didn't. I had 3 different Explore Air 2s, and all 3 of them would cut on light color paper, transparency, and craft card stocks. But Cricut does say white for your Explore, and that colors can be done on the maker. So it's going to depend on your Explore Air 2. So if you want to print like a saying inside a card, as long as it's within the 6.25 and 6.75 and 925 restraints, then you can print it on the inside and then do your card, or you can cut just a square like we have here. We can do, let's say that you're doing that on blue paper. It's not going to show up if it's dark blue, but if it's light blue, it will. But if you're flattening it to that, you're still going to be able to do it on white paper. Because when I make that blue and I select all of these and I flatten it, I'm telling it to print that blue. Okay? I'm still using white paper for my print and cut, but I'm telling it to print the background blue. So that's one way around it if your machine doesn't. But now if you're actually cutting it on blue paper and you're wanting that black to be on there and that red, then you need to make this white and insert the blue paper. Again, it's going to depend on the eye of your machine. And how and what sensor you may have gotten. I'm just going to say that it may be the sensor that you got. So this would be printed on blue paper and then cut. But like I said, there's a way around it by just changing the white background to the blue that you want and printing the blue ink for that background. If your Explore Air 2 won't cut it. Because, I mean, I can't show you here because I don't have my Explore Air 2 set up. But there are, it's blue paper. It's a light blue paper. If it's light blue, it should do it if your eye will read it. Now, not all the Air 2s will do that. Maybe I got lucky with 3 different machines. I don't know. But I did... I don't know. I can show you maybe what color I did use. Let me go to the overhead. As a matter of fact, this is the color that I print and cut on for mine from Cricut. Let's see. It's going to take it a second to transition over. This... I printed on this right here, and my Explore Air 2s could read it. But this is about the darkest I could go. Now, my makers haven't had any problem with it. What you can do, and I'm going to suggest this. This is what I would do if I were you, Cindy. I would print it on my blue paper, and I would also print it on a piece of white copy paper. Okay? Then I would take some temporary tape runner and tape on the back of my copy paper and lay it, and you're going to have to line it up perfect, okay? Your bounding box is going to have to be lined up perfect onto top of the blue. And then with that temporary on there, then put it through your maker and cut it, and it will cut it. I have done that with transparency on an Explore. So print 2. Print 1 on copy paper, and it doesn't have to be, you know, you can do it maybe in draft mode as long as the black lines are showing, and then do your actual in a good print on your blue and just overlay it using some temporary tape runner or your scrapbooking runners, and then cut it that way. Yeah, I cut this on every Explore Air 3 I had. I mean, Explore Air 2 I had. I had the flamingo colored one, I had the Martha Stewart one, and I had the Anna Griffin one, and all three of them cut color paper and transparency without having to do anything. Now, I did some testing with mine as well, like putting the overlay and stuff like that. That's how I know that those will work, that it will do that, because I tested several types of different print cuts. But Cricut does not say that your Explore Airs will cut on color paper. It says your makers will, but it says you have to have white for your Explorers. Okay? So if your Explore Air won't cut color paper, you can't go to Cricut and say, mine won't do it. Some of us got lucky. Yes, and you could use your marker with the Cricut. If you, Cindy, I'm seriously, the new extra fine gel pens look really, really good with your writing. If you choose a writing font, they look really good on the inside of cards. I've done several where I've used the Cricut pens and used the extra fine, and they look purchased from a store. So you can do that. And then there's always stamping as another option for the inside of your cards. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you very much to all of my moderators. Greatly, greatly appreciate all of you. Couldn't do this without you. And my supporters on Patreon, Ko-fi, and my YouTube memberships. Guys, you make everything possible. So I greatly appreciate that. And if you are not a current Ko-fi or Patreon subscriber, please click on that Linktree link that I gave you, or click in the Linktree description in the video and join us. Something for everybody. And I've got some new things coming. I'm just going to go ahead and toss it out there. You saw it on the Linktree. I am going to try to start doing some Zoom meetings. And I think I'm going to add a couple of tiers to Ko-fi and to Patreon for my supporters, where we do some Zooms. Okay? I haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's in the works, and I think I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 Zooms for supporters on those tiers. So something to look forward to, something coming. Yes, Cindy, you have the extra fine gels. Use those. You won't be disappointed with those. You pick a good writing font and you'll be fine with it. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Shirley. All right, you guys have a wonderful week. I will catch you on Friday, and we're going to design something together.